Hello guys, welcome again to my channel where we discuss important information that regards to your success and your career growth, immigration, travels, interview tips, international scholarships, postgraduate abroad, and scholarships that are local. And we share job advert as well. So basically, I'll be talking about some of the interview. Recently the United Kingdom and even Australia has actually um, opened their border to teachers from Africa and Asia, in as much as you meet the requirements. So we'll be looking at some of the interview questions that you are likely going to come across when you are applying for these jobs. Um, the tips in this video might also be applicable to schools that are home in our various home countries. So all you need to do, because definitely the interview pattern for every job, if it is a teacher or a lawyer, a doctor, a nurse, and all that, there's a pattern. I have mentioned this before that basically there are three major types of interview questions, or four. You will be looking at the interview question that has to do with the generic one. You'll be looking at the technical aspect of your interview. The generic ones are the ones that are asked across board. They ask you, there are questions that you will be asked in any interview, irrespective of the role you're trying to get into. So these are the generic ones, like why should we hire you? Tell us about yourself. And the technical ones basically are the ones that are actually job specific or role specific. So if you're applying as a doctor, as a nurse, as a teacher, so there are questions that are going to be asked in terms of that profession. So these are the technical aspect of your interview. There are brain teasers. So questions that want to just check how much of intelligence you've got, how much of creative mind have you got, and critical mind. So there are. So basically, we'll be looking at all this in full for a teacher, and so the very first questions I have, said this over time, that you should expect a question like introduce yourself. So you go into the room, you give a firm handshake with the interviewer, and you greet politely. You ask to sit down, for your interview, and the very first thing is, can we meet you? They'll introduce themselves that I am this, I am the head teacher, I am that, and all that. And the very next thing is introduce yourself, or tell us about yourself, or can we meet you? So when this question is asked, nobody is interested in your life story. All they are interested in is you doing an introduction of yourself, in terms of the skills set that you've got, the experience that you've got, the academic qualification you've got, and your type of person or your personality. You want to, as much as you want to, relate these to the job description, or the job that you're trying to apply or get interviewed for. So basically, you want to say things like, I am, Adebayo. I have over the years taught in various segments of teaching. I have taught, and I have this so number of experience. My course of teaching has helped me to develop my communication skill. My teaching style is such that I carry all students along. I am flexible. I change different teaching pattern according to the student's need, according to the subject is being taught, and so you want to say things like that. I have mentioned in my previous videos that one of the reasons or one of the ways you can actually do well when it comes to this question is, since you know that this is the type of question you are going to be asked, you want to prepare minimum of 2 to 3 minutes answer to this question, so that you are starting your interview on a solid ground, on a solid foundation. So because if you get that first question right, that will boost your morale, it will bring down your nerve, and you are likely going to succeed, if you are able to manage to get the first question right, because there's that feeling of success that comes with that. The very second question that you are likely going to ask is, why do you want to be a teacher? So you want to say that you've developed keen interests and passion for teaching. You love it, you are the type that impacts knowledge, and you enjoy teaching, and you have seen that the only thing that you are able to do to achieve fulfillment is teaching. And you have gone ahead to study as a teacher, you have done this, you have taught, and you have been able to turn around a lot of students that a lot of teachers have actually given up on. You have been able to turn them into students who are enthusiastic about learning, and you have been able to achieve a lot of success, such that you have been able to have this number of awards, this number as a best teacher, as a this, as a that. So you want to say things like that. You want to use that opportunity when that question, why teacher? You want to use that opportunity to sell yourself, to tell much more about your experience and what you have done, and how much of passion you've got for the teaching profession. You love it, especially because of the holiday. So doing the holiday as a teacher, you are relaxed. You have a work-life balance as a teacher. It keeps you busy and all that. So you want to say things like that. Very important. The very third question you are likely going to be asked is, what qualities have you got as a teacher? You want to say that you are understanding, you are patient, you respect your pupils or your students. You are the type that you are flexible, you have leadership skill, you are able to communicate, you've got effective communication as part of your skill, you've got passion, you've got you are open to change, so these are qualities that you need as a teacher. So you want to say all this, you are energetic, and you pass, you are the type, you are diligent, because it requires diligent and hard work for you to write your class scheme, enjoy structure your class, and be able to deliver your subjects as at when due. So you want to list all these things, that you are the patient type, you are understanding, you carry everybody along in your class, you are passionate, you are energetic, you have understanding, you have communication skill, you have leadership skill. So you want to mention these things. Another question you might be asked is, what is your teaching teaching style? So one of those things you want to say is that you're positive, you have a style, you have your style is actually dependent on the subject, on the environment, and on the students. So there are different style of teaching. Basically, you have the instructional one, instructional teaching style, you have the discussion, you have the visual or the practical teaching style. And basically, and even as a teacher, there are those in terms of leadership, you still have those teachers that are autocratic, that are democratic, and those who are laissez-faire. So basically, you want to say you are the laissez-faire type. The autocratic will say, oh, this is the instruction and you just have to follow the instruction, while the democratic will give room for the student to also impute their opinion in what is being discussed, while the laissez-faire is such that there are times that you have to stand your ground to say you give instruction, and there are times that you employ the democratic teaching style. So basically, as a good leader, as a teacher who is a good leader, you must be able to use this laissez-faire. You use the autocratic when needed, and you use the democratic when needed, and that's what makes you a balanced teacher. So you want to say that your teaching style depends on the subject matter, your environment, and the student's need. So basically, there are instructional, there are times that you need to use instruction, you need to mount your instructional material to teach your student. There are times that it's basically discussion. You allow for the student to impute, you discuss as if you are in a forum or in a forum. And there are times that you use the visuals to practical. This is also very important, because you say that you use this because what the students do would actually be part of them, and they are not likely to forget. So you want to say things like that. So you should, as a teacher, you cannot have just a teaching style. You need to have a multi-dimensional teaching style, depending on the student's need, depending on the subject, and depending on the environment. The next question you might be asked is, how do you manage your class? So you want to say that you manage your class with 3 R. Respect, response, and right approach to learning. So your class should be such that there's mutual respect between yourself and your student, and there's mutual respect between your student and between one another among your students. You want to also employ response. It is not enough for you to teach and not get response, not getting feedback from the student to be able to assess their level of understanding of the concept. So you must be able to carry the student along, and this would have to be the response. So you want to also say that right approach to learning, you help the student to manage their mind in such that they have the kind of mindset of lifelong learning, because learning is actually continuous. So you want to be able to say this. And you also the next question which you might be asked will be, why should we hire you? So you want to say that you want to use that opportunity to sell yourself as a teacher, to say that you are energetic, you are passionate, you provide safe learning environment for the students, you give support and same learning opportunity to your students, you embrace change, and you uphold the value of the school. So you want to say things that are related to this, that will make the management of the school see you as somebody who will be coming on board to support the mission and the vision of the school. So you want to relate your experiences as somebody who have experience, like that. So these are what you want to say when being interviewed, and that question, why should we hire you, is put forward to you. I'll stop this here, and I'll see if I would do a follow-up of question you might be asked as a teacher applying for the UK job, or even for jobs in your home country, or even the Australia jobs. Do well to share this video, like it, and put down your comments. Thank you. I see you in my next video.